Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to paint this Brutalis Dreadnought as a Black Templar. I would like to start with the base of the miniature, and for that I'm going to do something super similar to what I'm doing right now with my heavy intercessors. So basically I want to have something like this, urban ruined base. To do that I just need to cut parts of spruce and then glue them to the base nicely. Now that the glue is dry, I'm going to prime the miniature with Chaos Black from Citadel. Miniature primed, and now I'm going to use Astro Granite technical paint to cover the base of this Dreadnought. The technical paint is dry and now I can start painting the Dreadnought, so the first color that I would like to use is Abaddon Black. Just in case, I will remind you that I'm going to paint black on top of black because these are two different tones of black, and of course later when I start painting this miniature and I start applying different colors to it, I'm not going to be able to spray the miniature anymore with Chaos Black. So I'm going to apply a very thin layer of Abaddon Black, so later when I make any kind of mistake or if I want to correct something, I will be able to use my brush, use this color and have the exact same tone of black on the whole Dreadnought. Now I really want that black armor to pop out, and that's why I'm going to use Lead Velcher to paint all the inside mechanical parts of this Dreadnought. As I mentioned, now the armor really pops out and we have like a big contrast with the inside and the outside parts, especially if we look at the miniature from the back. And now I would like to continue painting the rest of the base colors. I still need to paint some things with Lead Velcher color, like for example the weapons on the chest and also on the arms, but that's something that I'm going to do later. For now I'm going to use Dawnstone, and this is a light grey that I will apply in the areas that later I would like to paint white. And now I'm going to use Wraithbone to cover the grey paint that I just applied. As always, we apply as many thin layers as necessary of white until we get a nice smooth consistency in the color. And now I'm going to paint the weapons of this Dreadnought, and for that I'm going to use Corn Red. To finish with the base colors, we just need to paint some details, so for that I'm going to use Balthasar Gold to paint all the gold elements, like for example the leftover parts that we have here around this symbol, these skulls, and of course we have this nice sarcophagus that it should also be painted. Then I'm going to use Runelord brush to paint all the bullets, because we can see them here in the regular bolters and we can see them here in the heavy bolters too, so let's paint them. Now that we finish with the base colors, we can start applying the shades, and I'm going to use Nuln Oil and I'm going to apply this color to every single silver surface of this Dreadnought. The next shade that I'm going to use is Agrax Earth shade, and I'm going to apply this one to the gold color, the bronze color, and also the purity seals. It is time to start with the highlights of this Dreadnought, and I'm going to start with the black armor. For that, I'm going to use two different highlights. First, I'm going to use Dark Reaper, and I'm going to apply this one in every single edge of the armor, like every single one of them. Then I'm going to use a second highlight, this time Fenrisian Grey, but only in the areas that will be the most exposed. At this point, I do consider that this is very subtle but still very noticeable and makes the power armor looks much better, so let's continue with the highlights. Now that I'm happy with how the armor looks, I'm going to proceed to highlight the red color with Evil Sun Scarlet. To continue with the highlights, now we are going to use Retributor Armor to highlight the gold color, and then we are going to use Stormhost Silver to of course highlight the silver color. With this we are almost there, so we just need to make this Dreadnought look even more Black Templar, and that's why now we are going to draw some nice crosses in these shoulders, and of course I'm also going to finish the purity seals, adding some writing to them. With the crosses, it's always the same. Even if it can seem like it's super difficult, actually it's not that bad. I mean, we are going to draw the crosses, then we are going to correct them with the same white color that we used for the shoulder, and then we are going to correct them again until they look as we want them to look. So now that we have nice shoulders with the Black Templar proper cross, I'm going to decorate this knee as well, using the exact same colors that I used for the rest of the Dreadnought. To finish with the Dreadnought, now I'm just going to use Wild Rider Red on the lenses, on all the cameras that he has, and then I'm going to use Iriel Yellow to paint this light that we have right there. At this point, only the base is remaining, so for that, first I would like to use Abaddon Black to create some shadows among all of these bits that we have here. I'm also going to use this color to paint the edge of the base, and then I'm going to use Wraithbone to dry brush all over the base. And this is it, this is the final result. This is my Brutalis Dreadnought painted as a Black Templar. Here you have the option A from the instructions of the Brutalis Dreadnought, and here you have the option B. So like this you can compare, and actually if you one day want to assemble and have one in your army, you will clearly see here how different they are. Not super different because it's the same Dreadnought, but still I'm happy to say that we can accomplish two different dreadnoughts that they look quite different from each other, because I mean the main thing that we can see in this dreadnought are those claws, and when we look at these ones, those claws are not that noticeable, but still we have the bolters that they are there, and it's impossible not to look at them, especially if it's a Black Templar, because the weapons are red and all of them pop out a lot. Not as much here, because of course he has like multi-meltas and they are not that noticeable, but still very noticeable. At this point, I would also like to mention that I'm very happy with the progress that I have made over the time, because I do think that the highlights of this Dreadnought are much better than the highlights in this Dreadnought. I'm much more happier with the base of this Dreadnought than with the base of this one. And for example, if we check the crosses, I can also say that I'm much happier with how I make them here lately. And yes, as I said, I can see the progress, and that makes me very happy. And of course, at this point, I would like to remind you that if you like what I do, you would like to support my work and help me to continue improving, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. What else can I say about this Dreadnought? If you have any question or suggestion, or you want to tell me what you think about this miniature, I invite you to let me know in the comments. But aside from that, I don't know. I mean, for me, this is probably one of my most favorite Space Marine kits in general, like all the Dreadnoughts, because they are super cool, they are great, and they are like the concept by itself, it's awesome. So I love them. Before I forget, this is how it looks from the inside, okay, because I was going to forget. And I decided to just do a simple gold plus black, because I think that it looks very elegant, they suit each other nicely. And most of the time I'm going to have it like this basically, so I'm not going to see it, and I didn't want it to complicate myself too much. And it doesn't have a name yet, so in case that you have any kind of suggestion, I will try to write it here. So like this, we can give this Dreadnought a proper name, and this is it. So with all of that being said, this is the end of the video. This is my Brutalis Dreadnought, and as always, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.